So soy, become the motor. Hey folks, and welcome to a SUSOIX Nordic ski video. And we are at Bear Mountain, New York, off the Palisades Parkway. Right here at the base, there's the river over on the left-hand side of your picture. And up we go in double pole. So I believe the KOM on a bike is somewhere around 20, 21, 22 minutes. So we're gonna see how quick we can get up here. This lower section here has a little bit of crocodile pavement, so we'll just have to maneuver around there. And today we're on Pursuit roller skis, and they're doing a mighty fine job for us here and at other summits. And up we go. So thank you, Pursuit Roller Ski, for helping us out with some skis. We love your skis, and we'd love to be doing these KOMs on your skis. So here we go. Up, 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 up. No warm-up. These no warm-ups are a killer. So you can either decide to warm up on that busy road down there, or I guess you could ski up and then maybe ski down a little bit, but skiing down is a little treacherous, and with race wheels it's a little sketchy too. So we don't really start feeling all too good here till about the entrance to Perkins Memorial Drive. That'll be about 17 minutes into this. So we're feeling sort of pokey here, but we're trying to keep it going. And of course you're looking at Enrique Cubillo. This athlete has under 40 days of cross-country skiing in him. So time to develop a little bit of double pole. That'll help us in our V1 or V2, and our kick double pole, and our diagonal stride, and all those wonderful skiing techniques. But we happen to find that double poling seems to be the base of everything for us and the people that we coach. And you might say, gee, well, this athlete looks like they've been cross-country skiing a little bit, but this athlete has been spikeboarding since 2010, and we are in 2018 right now. So an endurance athlete who previously had been cycling and doing a little bit of speed skating on ice. And so stand-up spike and spikeboarding are going to help pipeline all kinds of people into Nordic ski development, especially roller skiing. Can't crush your tips in spikeboarding. It's very casual. It's a very good way to develop the lat, virtually identical to cross-country skiing. And in spikeboarding, the arms are going to remain at that 90-degree bend for engagement. And of course, the spike, comes from roller skiing, people. So spikeboarding is the casual little sibling of roller skiing. So take it from someone who spikeboards and cross-country skis on wheels. It's a higher challenge to roller ski than it is to spikeboard. It's just the way it is. And I don't find myself commuting all too often on roller skis. But you know, funny thing, I always seem to be commuting spikeboarding. It's pretty casual. Anyway, let's get back to this. And we're still in the lower stretches here. We haven't reached the roundabout. Over on the left, you're going to see the Bear Mountain Inn. And we're going to pass that. And that's when the pavement is going to begin to get a little smoother. And of course, this summit is the turnaround point for all you Ciao Fondos. Ciao Fondo! Ciao Fondo! Ciao Fondo! So all you people who aren't out there chomping at the bit in USA Cycling, you seem to have loved to Ciao Fondo. So the Grand Fondo comes through here in New York City, and if you didn't pay $3,000 to be in the race, well then they won't let you up this mountain. But if you did pay the $30,000 to be in the race at the Ciao Fondo, this is where you will come. So those of you who haven't been to the Gran Fondo, New York, this is your turnaround hill. And if you've paid the $300,000 to be in the race, well then, and wear the green jersey with everyone else, whoop, little slip there, you'll be going up this mountain, and you will have the privilege on that day to come down the hill in, I believe, what they call a neutralized situation. So no bombing during the Ciao Fondo, but have a good time there. Anyway, that's the location here, and this is a fabled mountain, and this mountain is West Point's front yard, backyard. You can hear the ordnance going off from Bear Mountain as our dedicated service people prepare and do practice drills for all their honorable work that they do in protecting our country. But West Point, you folks are hard as nails. You are the toughest people in the world, and we thank you so much for everything you do. And please look us up at SUSOIX Nordic Ski. Follow the email and phone number listed below, and please, let's get West Point skiing, shall we? Not very well known, but the world's best cross-country skiers, they roller ski just like this 70% of the time. Not too far north of here, high schools even roller ski, or at least they used to. And also there's good skiing not too far away sometimes in the winter if you have luck. But roller skiing is skiing. It's tremendously good for you. And Army at West Point, come on out, or even enlisted people. Anyone who's seeing this, look us up, and we want to help you learn to ski, because skiing is skiing. I'm going to repeat, skiing is skiing. It's just the way it goes, folks. Nobody sits around thinking about inline and thinking about speed skating on ice. They get down to business and they start doing what they got to do with what they got. So there's a mountain, there's pavement. It's time to ski up this mountain. And perhaps in a little while we'll start to make some videos, and we will begin to demonstrate the stroke in its entirety. And this particular gear is skate ski gear, and a more seasoned skier would be showing you possibly some leg technique. Now, for all you folks who never skied before and don't know the history of skiing, the skate ski technique was banned. Banned. Hey, stop doing that. That's different. Don't be different. Even if we're faster, oh please, let us be faster. Let us, please. No, can't do that. And for 3 years, between 84, 85, 86, sadly, the world governing body of skiing wanted to ban skate ski. Those skis on my feet wouldn't exist if the people that wanted to ban it had their way. Where are those people? Anyway, most of them are still alive. So, learn skate ski, learn classic ski. There's a lot of skiing to learn. The technique will make you very happy. Why? Because it's the most complicated form of human propulsion forward that there is. You might say, well, what are you talking about? What am I talking about? Why don't you speak to some figure skaters or some hockey skaters? Or, better yet, why don't you go try seat cutting backwards? You know what a seat cut is? Just go watch a hockey game. Watch the defensive men. They're going to seat cut to the left and to the right flawlessly. Well, I don't know, but I can't do that. And it seems to me like on land, which is what ice is, and even inline, skating backwards is exceedingly challenging. It's probably the highest challenge of any kind of human propulsion, but that would be going backwards. Now, getting back to skiing, roller skiing is the highest challenge of human propulsion, going forwards. So your heels are not bound to these things, and your legs are independent, and it takes some getting used to, and it takes some dedication, and it's like learning Dutch, or perhaps Inuit. But anyway, you'll be delighted when you do learn this stuff, and it absolutely rips you like crazy. And just for the last time here, I'm going to tell you, if you get some spike boarding in you first, you're going to appreciate it. Plus, then you'll have some way to get around and commute very casually with Nordic development in your upper body. So, the shorts, what's going on with that? Nikki Hayden, God bless you. We had a lot of fun watching you, and you were a tremendous racer and the only American to ever win MotoGP. And sadly, after your passing, I discovered who you were, and I realized that all of the MotoGP guys are doing a truckload of anaerobic work and fitness on bicycles. So sadly, I was not able to secure a Lycra top for this kit, but that is Nikki Hayden's kit. And at one time, the shorts and the jersey were for sale. And big shout out to all you MotoGP racers to let you know that this is going to help you get ripped, and so will spikeboarding for your racing. So if you want to jack your heart, you want to get good anaerobic work, and you want to get core, and you want to get some lats that are going to help you with your grip and your upper body and help you win Moto America, MotoGP races, well, you're looking at it. So take it from this athlete who cycles a lot. God gave you core, last I checked, and you need to use it. And you certainly need to use it in your motorcycle racing as well as everything else. So general fitness, Nordic sport, Nordic cross-country ski sport is insanely effective. And of course, roller skiing and spikeboarding are one and the same origin. A board on wheels with a desire to take it uphill. That's what separates Nordic cross-country ski from alpine. Alpiners have steel edges, and they want the thrill of dropping, fighting the mountain as best they can for a 2-minute event. Insanely fit athletes for 2 minutes, and that's it. So Nordic cross-country, spikeboarding, it's all about being fit for just a little longer. So you're going to do 33 to 5-hour events. And that's the idea. And you're going to have nice, high, elevated heart rates. So MotoGP, Moto America guys, consider it. Consider this fitness. So look us up if you're in the local area. Or if you're far away, call us. We will Skype with you, chat with you, and tell you how to begin to get ripped. So what's that little time code saying down there? As we narrate this, I'm not looking at the time code, so I don't know, but I do know the final here is going to be 37:55, more or less. It's just called 38 minutes. Funny enough, we called it for 60 minutes. Boy, were we off. So anyhow, we're going to start to, there's a little slip. What I was going to say was we're going to start to summit quite a few summits from here to California, and we want to inspire you people. We want to inspire you to begin to recreate, commute, recreate, race, and lifelong full body fitness with transport sports. And come to the American mountains, come with roller skis, come spikeboarding, and start summiting mountains. There is absolutely no difference, really theoretically, between hard efforts, running them or cycling them. Anybody can adapt to these kinds of loads. This athlete is not so special whatsoever. It's just a typical 54-year-old Cat 2 bike racer who dedicates a little bit to developing the upper body. So we keep missing a little bit. We're really trying to stay to the side of the road. You hit that paint, it's not going to be a happy day. It doesn't absorb the spike as well as the fresh pavement. But we're doing pretty good here and making our way up the mountain. The idea is to just stay focused on your technique and your stroke, and trying to really drop down on a nice square and pull the pelvis down a little bit and push your hips forward as much as you can. You really can't zing up on your heels all that much when you're climbing. You do want to focus on making your stroke about as short and effective as you can. So they're not really long strokes. You're much better off trying to carry your rolling speed and stay on the top of that bell curve of momentum. So try not to chase your stroke way back there. Just make it short, make it sweet, get a quick return. Loose and tight, folks. Loose and tight, loose and tight, loose and tight. Don't forget the loose part. So if you're tight all the way up, you're going to have a bad time and you're not going to be very efficient in your stroke. So if you can, remember to babble. Try to babble a little bit to yourself. Because when you babble, you're going to be relaxed. So when you babble, your lower chin, the rest of your body will begin to relax. So in endurance sport and with sports that require technical movements, you want to be monitoring your body head to toe at all times and trying to really find a relaxed zone right after the strength phase of any stroke. So keep looking for that, and slowly you'll begin to get really relaxed, tight and loose, tight and loose, tight and loose, and you'll begin to endure, and your body will begin to adapt to loads well. So we're getting ready to come up here to the Perkins Memorial entryway to the park, and there'll be a little bit of natty broken up pavement, and we'll just skip right over that and we'll be headed towards the steepest part of the climb. And once we get past that, we know it's just all work and a matter of getting to the top. So that's really the most consternation that you're going to find. We'll show that to you and where that is so you can see it. And notice also that the shafts of the poles sometimes go a little bit out to the side, and you really, what you want to do is try to keep those shafts perfectly parallel to the legs. For every degree that you go out to the side, you're just losing power of the universe. So that's a physical law of physics. So notice how that shaft's out by a little bit. So you want to try to pull those tips in a little bit and behind you so that you're not losing power. So right there, that ski pole went way out to the side. And you want to try to get them really parallel so that you're not losing that much power. And this is a short effort. Anything under an hour, you ought to be able to get used to doing this without hydration, even though you would obviously want to be urinating very clearly, and you would probably want to be very well hydrated the night before any kind of events like this. People that are extremely muscle bound, like this athlete, your muscles are going to want to cool off and you're going to sweat a lot. So don't be going out and doing these efforts unless you're fully hydrated. Make sure you're all topped off and everything's coming out nice and clear before you get going, and you've got plenty of electrolyte in you as well, and you should be fine. So we didn't have a problem with this, and always make sure that you're going to have something at the top to hydrate with quickly. And if it's a mountain, even if it's summertime, could be a little breezy up there, so you know, have a little jacket to put on. Funky stuff happens when you cool down really quickly, and the body can get really cold even though it's middle of summer. So make sure you have hydration and a jacket. So just keep that pace up and keep it steady however you can do it. And obviously big summits like this isn't the kind of thing that you're going to start off with right away. Just build up to it. The body adapts to load over time. And as we said, this athlete has been at it since 2010. And I think we summited this mountain for the first time in 2011 in stand-up spike. And sadly, all the downhill longboarders showed up in 11 and 12, and they just made a ruckus, and they got boarders kicked off this mountain, sadly, even going up. So there's a little uneven pavement, boom, boom, over we go. And today we're coming up on 110 millimeter inline skate wheels. and they're a little squirrely, but they're nice and fast, and we're riding on Swiss bearings, and that is what's making us roll. That's our friction equation. So a little bit further up here, we're going to get into the steepest part of this climb. There's nothing on this Bear Mountain climb that's insanely steep, and there aren't any really crazed banked switchbacks. Ciao Fondo, there he is. Hey, Ciao Fondo, there he is, setting his Strava Mambo, going up. See you later, dude. Good to see those guys out, and they're not chomping at the bit in USA Cycle Racing, but they're doing Fondos, and you know what? The more people on bikes, the better, and we love to see that. But some of you Fondo folks, you either race on the road in USA Cycling, or you're gonna die wanting to. So don't die wanting to race bikes, man. Get out there and do some crits, do some road race, do some circuit racing, and jump some wheels, and know what it's like to race in a kit in a team. Either help out or try to sink it. But the Fondo experience is very different than a road race experience. So make sure you get out there and try that just at least one season. You'll like it. And in we go to the park. I think the temperature was in the 80s today. Wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold. Felt just right, and it was a good day. Weren't even planning on this. So what we've been doing is we've been adding these uphill loads about one a week, and we're going to see where the body lands. But after a couple of 1 hour loads straight away, the body freaked out just a little bit. We did Lookout, which we're going to show to you in double pole, and then the previous week we did Greylock at 1 hour 15 in stand-up spike. Stand-up spike's a little slower than double pole. Double pole's a little more effective at extracting power out of the body, but stand-up spike is pretty darn fun. And folks, get up to Greylock. Greylock is unbelievable. Just wait till you see the stand-up spike video on our other channel on spikeboarding. So go over to spikeboarding on YouTube/spikeboarding, and we'll post that stand-up spike video soon up Greylock. Greylock is the top of Massachusetts, and it's absolutely gorgeous up there, and the pave is smoking hot. Oh my goodness, super smooth, and it's actually a uphill with a downhill in the middle of it. So actually when we get up there to double pole it on these wheels, it's going to be interesting because we're not all that well versed with 35-40 mile an hour downhills on roller skis. So we'll see how that goes. When you see that video when we stood up spike, we could have flown down it on the board, but we actually held on to the camera bike a little bit, never having been down it. But we'll see what happens. But Greylock on the East Coast, Greylock, and of course the mother of all hills, Whiteface. But Whiteface, kind of tricky getting on that mountain. So you go up there, go down to the candy shop, and go up to the entrance. And geez, if they let you in, you'll be lucky. But they don't normally let skiers onto that mountain. But they do sometimes have a race in September, and we'll be looking to get up there if they have that race and see how we do up there. So coming around this little turn up here, where a skier is going to turn to the left, and that will begin. I think we're starting to get right on it, and you're going to see the stroke start to get a little tighter in the arms, and the cadence is going to get just a little bit faster. So we're just looking up there, peeking for it, and here we go. This is the 200 meters or so. That is the steepest part of Bear Mountain. And when things get steep, your stroke should get really short. And you should seek to relax yourself all that much more during your loose phase. So the steeper it gets, the more relaxed you get on your return. And don't try to get tight or sprint, any crazy thing like that. Steeper it gets, the more mellow you get. You can go a little harder if you want, but just remember, anybody coming from cycling, man, you can blow up fast in this sport, really fast. So you got to climb at your own speed, and if anyone's attacking you, well, you know, you could stay with it for just a minute, but or just a few seconds actually, but it's a lot like running, which we haven't done a great deal of, but man, you gotta, you know, this ain't drafting, and you're not rolling on wheels on a big bike with a saddle in between your legs, so you just gotta climb at your own rate, and never let the low speeds, if you're coming from cycling, never let the low speeds freak you out. As you can see, we started to clear at the bottom, and as we told you, the time on this is going to be about 38 minutes. So when you look at the speed and you look at the overall time it takes to go up, they kind of don't go hand in hand, because when you're out there doing it, you feel like a turtle, especially if you're coming from inline skating or you're coming from cycling. But when you start to look at the load times, one, they're not so long, and two, you know, you're doing a pretty good clip. So it's really about load and work, and it's all about full body fitness. So this is a very little understood sport in this country and really all around the world, it's going to give you a level of fitness that is so comprehensive. It's going to really blow your mind. And we'd seen this sport back in 1993 when we started racing bicycles, and wished we would have paid more attention to it. But sadly, what the industry was telling us was that this is what people who snow skied did in summer. They didn't say this is the bomb. They didn't say, you know, roller skiing is like, you know, skiing, and that it's like a sport of gods. Come do it. It's insane. You're missing it if you're not roller skiing, because that's what they should have said. And had they said that, then you know, might have picked it up back then, but they didn't. They said this is what you do if you snow ski. So forget all about snow skiing until you're standing on snow. Don't worry about it. Don't give it much thought at all, and worry about skiing. As I said, if this is what you got, this is what you got. And this is the end of the steep part. You're going to see that this is going to flatten out just a little bit. We're going to pick up a little more speed, and from here on out, this climb is absolutely done. So as far as this athlete's concerned, the day is over, and really it's just going to feel absolutely fantastic. And it's just going to be a question of how quickly they can really start to add the speed here, because once you get past the tricky parts, it's all a question of how fast you're going to pour out the water, so you got one tiny little drop left at the very end. But you do have to be careful not to get too excited, so you don't want to hit walls and start slowing way down. And this might have been able to be timed a little bit better, but since the first time we double poled it, then you know, didn't do half bad. Didn't do half bad at all. But as you can see, it's absolutely beautiful pictures coming off this mountain now, and the weather was so nice. This is about a departure of around 3 o'clock, 3:30, and wow, what an evening! As you can see, it's actually Friday, and it's a Friday right before Memorial Day weekend, and not all that many people. But you come up here in the middle of the week, it'll be all yours, just about. Some retired folks, and also gets pretty quiet around supper time, so that's always nice to have a little bit of quiet. But this side of the mountain is a little bit more sunny, and now this is going to begin to corkscrew around 1 or 2 times toward the top. There's no downhills in any of this. This is all going to go straight on up to a fire tower here at the top of Bear Mountain with a nice little lookout, and you're going to really enjoy this summit. You can really lay out up at the top like a lizard. There's really nice rock to lay out on in the sun, and it's one of our all-time favorite climbs. And we call this summit the office. So when we say, hey, where are you? We call you and we say we're at the office, you'll know where we're at the top of Bear Mountain. This is also a very pretty climb when it gets foggy. The top of the mountain can get foggy and you can't see through it, and it's really nice. It's sort of kind of quietly in a very misty way delivers you to the top, and that's very nice too. So make sure you visit the lodge down at the bottom. They have a nice restaurant there, and of course shoot over to Highland Falls and West Point. Always visit West Point if you're coming in from out of state. It's a beautiful campus, amazing. So sad that they closed it right after 9/11. You used to be able to cycle in there and go in there whenever you wanted, and no longer. But now you can go in on a tour. You pay a little fee. It's not a tremendous fee, and the West Point tour is really, really well worth taking. A lot of my neighbors have given tours over there. My neighbors from Cornwall on Hudson. Big shout out to Cornwall on Hudson, and any coaches or kids that are watching this. Hey, we're gonna make some ski videos on Storm King too, so don't feel left out. We do a lot of work over at Storm King, and there's great spikeboarding there and great skiing there as well. Usually we repeat that mountain 3 times in double pole, so we'll get a time on that as well. That's actually got a little steeper section in a couple spots, and it's a little more bumpy and not quite as wide open, not quite as epic. It doesn't corkscrew to the top, and there's no real flat top like the top of a Storm King, and we only take it up to the Storm King school anyway. We don't take it to the top of 9W. It's kind of busy road out there. But these are some of the prettier parts now of this video, with his backlight coming around to the other side of the mountain. And again, we're just trying to stay loose here, and loose tight, loose tight, loose tight. Notice how the arms are staying at 90 degrees, because your arms actually function like a chain on a bike. So they're just transmitting, really. They're not doing all that work. All the work is coming from the trunk and the lat, lower back, and the core. Tremendous amount of power coming from the core and the lat, and of course the legs do need to support everything. So the legs are getting quite a bit of use, but they're not delivering so much power. They're actually transmitting all the power into the wheels so that you can go forward. But yeah, you don't want to be reaching way out forward, and you don't want to be reaching way backwards with your arms. Just keep your arms at 90 and loose tight, come down on your straps. Really make a nice good injection connection with your spike tip into the pavement, and that is a double pole stroke. We've heard many people say that the double pole stroke was one of the toughest techniques, but we don't find that to be the case at all. I don't know whether that's because we're coming from the stand-up spike stroke, and it was such a familiar feeling, as a stand-up spike stroke is just a modified double pole with hips at 45 degrees, and the arms are staying in the exact formation, that 90-degree formation. You're just swiveling over a leading hip and a leading shoulder. But there's certainly way more challenging strokes techniques that we think are way more challenging. So an alternate V1 stroke for us is much more complicated, and of course you know, a really decent V2 cleanly with a tremendous amount of power is also seems like a heck of a lot more challenging than a double pole stroke. But there are people out there tell you that double pole is the most challenging. I guess maybe to do it right. I don't know. Who knows? But we're going to set a nice time here, and so we're going to invite people to come on out and set some times, and Strava it, whatever you want. And we'd love to have you come out and do a little head-to-head racing with us. And you know what? We'll put a friendly $300 on the table just to keep things fun. So if you got a double pole in you, look us up, and let's do a little double pole, get a little warm up. We'll put a few weeks out there. Maybe we'll lose some weight for it, and up we'll go. And we'll do a little head-to-head, and we'll have some fun coming up this mountain. So give us a look up, and we'll do that. So right now, if you could see over that ledge, you would see the Bear Mountain Bridge. Look at those rolling hills. Oh, so gorgeous, so old, so old, seen so much. And they're so majestic in their very quiet, sublime way. But you would see the river, and you would see the Bear Mountain Bridge, and you would see West Point just over this athlete's left shoulder. So over the right side of your picture. So that's a nice little good lookout there. So here we come up toward the end. We're going to have a couple more turns here, and then we're just gun it to the top, and we will be finished with this guy and set a nice video record for you all to see. And of course, all you skiers, check out the Italian videos from northern Italy. Man, those people have a tremendous passion, a huge passion. They take the whole entire town and then they do these uphills, and these guys come out with their 65-year-old aunt and uncles, and man, they just drill into it. And of course, some of the older videos are really fun, some of the pros and Olympic champions. Really, just it's very inspiring to see those uphills in Europe. But we have hills here in America, and it's time to start skiing up them and turning people on to how to do it on wheels, because it is an absolute blast. And for the life of me, I don't know why on earth people from all the Spartan and all the CrossFit and all this hard-ass stuff that people are doing. Well, the original hard-ass stuff is cross-country skiing, folks. And it's at your disposal, and it's really close by, and it's called roller skiing, and it's an absolute blast. And if you've got hills, just have a buddy pick you up the top. And in some neck of the woods, you could actually just call an Uber. So park at the bottom, and I know at Lookout Mountain, Golden is right at the bottom of the mountain. I know, because I have a buddy who is now stand-up spiking, who I can't get to roller ski for the life of me. I don't know why he doesn't want to. A couple of years. Give him a couple of years, folks. But Stuart Gillespie will begin to roller ski. I know it. Well, I think I know it, but he might not. But if you're in Golden and you want a double pole lookout, do it. Take a phone. Have Uber on it, and they'll just bring you down for $5. A little Uber Golden. And we are in sight of the top right now. Now we're going to dig a little, dig hard, and we're just going to summit this out. And sadly, look at those poles going out to the side a little bit. We should be tucking those tips in, but a little bit of tiredness, lost our technique. But digging straight up to the line, and remember, if there is a line painted on the ground, always ski through it. Don't ski towards it. Ski through it, race through it, skate through it, spin your bike through it. Anyhow, folks, thanks for watching. It's been great yakking with you. Thanks for the listen. Thanks for the watch. Ski hard, ski often. Roller ski America. It's time to roller ski. Yeah, it is. So, and this is Skiing New York, people. If you're in New York, yeah, this is New York. So there's the summit, guys. Enjoy. We'll see you at the next one, all right? Be good. Bye-bye.